To live is to suffer, to survive is to find some meaning in the suffering. Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster. And if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you. Hope in reality is the worst of all evils because it prolongs the torments of man. One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star. He who would learn to fly one day must first learn to stand and walk and run and climb and dance. One cannot fly into flying. A pair of powerful spectacles has sometimes sufficed to cure a person in love. God is dead. God remains dead. And we have killed him. Yet his shadow still looms. How shall we comfort ourselves, the murderers of all murderers? What was holiest and mightiest of all that the world has yet owned has bled to death under our knives. Who will wipe this blood off us? What water is there for us to clean ourselves? The true man wants two things, danger and play. For that reason he wants woman, as the most dangerous plaything. In every real man a child is hidden that wants to play. Madness is rare in individuals, but in groups, parties, nations, and ages it is the rule. The future influences the present just as much as the past. You have your way. I have my way. As for the right way, the correct way, and the only way, it does not exist. When one has not had a good father, one must create one. The doer alone learneth. The kingdom of heaven is a condition of the heart, not something that comes upon the earth or after death. We love life, not because we are used to living but because we are used to loving. When marrying, ask yourself this question: do you believe that you will be able to converse well with this person into your old age? Everything else in marriage is transitory. There are no facts, only interpretations. The irrationality of a thing is no argument against its existence, rather a condition of it. There is more wisdom in your body than in your deepest philosophy. To forget one's purpose is the commonest form of stupidity. Fear is the mother of morality. Insanity in individuals is something rare, but in groups, parties, nations and epochs, it is the rule. The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct him to hold in higher esteem those who think alike than those who think differently. Many are stubborn in pursuit of the path they have chosen, few in pursuit of the goal. Evil men have no songs. How is it that the Russians have songs? Thoughts are the shadows of our feelings, always darker, emptier and simpler. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. That which does not kill us makes us stronger. Without music, life would be a mistake. All things are subject to interpretation. Whichever interpretation prevails at a given time is a function of power and not truth. We should consider every day lost on which we have not danced at least once. And we should call every truth false which was not accompanied by at least one laugh. It is not a lack of love, but a lack of friendship that makes unhappy marriages. It is impossible to suffer without making someone pay for it. Every complaint already contains revenge. On the mountains of truth you can never climb in vain. Either you will reach a point higher up today, or you will be training your powers so that you will be able to climb higher tomorrow. The man of knowledge must be able not only to love his enemies but also to hate his friends. When you look into an abyss, the abyss also looks into you. Ah, women. They make the highs higher and the lows more frequent. There is always some madness in love. But there is also always some reason in madness. The essence of all beautiful art, all great art, is gratitude. Those who cannot understand how to put their thoughts on ice should not enter into the heat of debate. A casual stroll through the lunatic asylum shows that faith does not prove anything. The best weapon against an enemy is another enemy. Whenever I climb I am followed by a dog called ego. Woman was God's second mistake. Blessed are the forgetful, for they get the better even of their blunders. Perhaps I know best why it is man alone who laughs. He alone suffers so deeply that he had to invent laughter. Not necessity, not desire. No, the love of power is the demon of men. Let them have everything: health, food, a place to live, entertainment. They are and remain unhappy and low-spirited, for the demon waits and waits and will be satisfied. Art raises its head where creeds relax. Whatever is done for love always occurs beyond good and evil. The most common lie is that which one lies to himself. Lying to others is relatively an exception. Love is blind, friendship closes its eyes. There is an innocence in admiration. It is found in those to whom it has never yet occurred that they, too, might be admired someday. He that humbleth himself wishes to be exalted. In heaven, all the interesting people are missing. Our treasure lies in the beehive of our knowledge. We are perpetually on the way thither, being by nature winged insects and honey-gatherers of the mind. All truly great thoughts are conceived by walking. In individuals, insanity is rare, but in groups, parties, nations and epochs, it is the rule. Success has always been a great liar. Faith, not wanting to know what is true. There are no eternal facts, as there are no absolute truths. A woman may very well form a friendship with a man, but for this to endure, it must be assisted by a little physical antipathy. Stupid as a man, say the women. Cowardly as a woman, say the men. Stupidity in a woman is unwomanly. Women are considered deep. Why? Because one can never discover any bottom to them. Women are not even shallow. I love those who do not know how to live for today. Is life not 1,000 times too short for us to bore ourselves? One should die proudly when it is no longer possible to live proudly. One ought to hold on to one's heart, for if one lets it go, one soon loses control of the head too. We have art in order not to die of the truth. It is not when truth is dirty, but when it is shallow, that the lover of knowledge is reluctant to step into its waters.